Enzo kalaban ang katiwalian at kasinungalingan, kakampi sa katotohanan at kabutihan.
Tell us about, na-intriga ko sa sinabi po ninyo dati na minamasdan ninyo yung body language, halimbawa, ng mga senator judges, pati ng mga audience, kung anong tone ang i-assume mo pag nagsasalita ka.
Well, yes. Not so much, well, and as well, the senator judges, that's why I keep saying, hindi pwede yung absentee voting, yung virtual voting, pagdating ng final botohan for the articles, because the judges would have missed the body language, the eye contact, the manner of speaking. Namimiss nila yan if they allow voting in absentia, virtual voting. If they maintain yung all of the senators, and then yung threshold is 16 votes, kasama lahat yun, yung mga absentee voters. I think they would have missed the opportunity to observe the witness. The same way that we lawyers, no, well, at least we in litigation, we have to own the room. You have to figure out your opposing counsel, the body language of the opposing counsel. You also have to figure out the moods of the senators. Now, when they come in, makikita mo, some are chattering, small group chattering, some are serious, some have 3 thermoses in front of them. So you have to feel the pulse as well. No? And when I do my questioning, apart from looking at the witness and the opposing counsel, I look at the senator judges, if they are there, because if you can't hold their attention, can you imagine, senator judges na yan, can you imagine what the public is thinking? They'll tune off.
Ando na nga sila mismo.
Yeah,
at kayo rin mismo, kamo, no? Pag kayo mismo ay nag-out of body experience na.
Oh yes. I am my own judge. Now when I get bored, that means something's gotta give.
When does an aggressive cross-examination become an attempt to simply wear down a witness, sa tingin po ninyo?
You don't have to be aggressive to make a point. Sometimes it's even more effective to say it calmly, the way I try to, the way I keep in check. I'm naturally fiery. But I have learned in life that sometimes if you're always like that, when you really mean it, they'll say, she's in one of her bad hair moods. No? So I'm normally very calm. But when the occasion calls for it, like when was it? Like Wednesday, you have to step up to the plate, no? Because it gets lost in the. Kasi pag theatrics ang ginagawa, I don't know if it was a nervous reaction of my opposing counsel, but I could feel that she was losing it. For 4 hours of the same points, going back to the same points. I don't want to be critical, but just for cross-examination alone. And that's why I ended when I ended. I felt that the senator said, for feeling enough.
Sabi mo, one of the cardinal rules of cross-examinations, knowing when to stop.
Correct. It's knowing when to stop.
Sabi
or
mo,
even knowing when not to. Sometimes the best cross-examination, especially for an expert witness, sometimes the best cross-examination is no cross. Like for instance, yung ginawa nila kay Attorney Wamil. Even Silene, no? They're not expert witness, but they were competent witnesses.
Yeah.
And so the cross-examination even allowed them to expound, no? Even the questions of the senators allowed them to explain, which was good. Which was good. But if you were on the other side, if you were on the defense side, you would think twice. Magaling itong witness, credible. I mean, credible witness, not an expert, but credible, competent, and knows his or her thing, no? Huwag ka na mag-cross.
Minsan nga, yung witness ay ginigrill or parang ini-interrogate for something na hindi niya nasaklaw o hindi niya nasaklaw ng trabaho niya. At minsan, parang bakit ito tinatanong sa kanya yan? Sabi po ng iba yan. So, kahapon, yung hinayaan ng presiding officer yung certain line of questioning na tinanong po ninyo na magiging ganito ho ba? Are we pursuing this line of questioning? Hinayaan niya. Pa-isa-isa, na very tedious, na paulit-ulit, at strategy, sa tingin strategy ho ba talaga to? Or
For the defense or for
sa
the
defense po?
I cannot guess their strategy, no. Let me just use me
Apa.
as an example, no. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done because obvious, no, yung for instance yung questions on hindi ba surveillance activity.
Yeah.
Obvious naman between you and me. Mag-attend ka ng Christmas party, mag-attend ka ng gift giving, mag-attend ka ng whatever award ceremony. Nandun yung Vice President's Special Protection Group, SPG, no? To clear the road or to see that is that confidential activity? Parang to make sure that there are no communists, there are no terrorists, there's no NPA there.
At ligtas ang operasyon kasi
Wala.
unhurt daw ang
Correct.
Vice Presidente.
Hindi naman function yan ng confidential funds because we all know how many special protection groups she has, no? She has about almost 400 and whittled down na yan, ano? And she has a budget for that. So anong tawag doon, ano? When we were talking about it, parang nagdo-double dipping, di ba? You're getting it, you're getting the monies from your regular funds. You're also trying to get the money or liquidating it with your confidential funds. Kapag kumakain ka ng fishball, bawal ang double dipping, di ba?
Pati sa pag-ibig po, bawal din po yan.
As sa pag-ibig, okay, everything goes in love. Love is fair. Pwedeng triple, but just so it's graphic. Hindi
Tama
ba?
po.
May fishball ka, ididip mo doon ng iba-iba. Parang hindi maganda. I mean,
It's unhygienic.
It's unhygienic.
Pero, Attorney,
That's what she's doing. She's getting from both.
nung
Double dipping.
marami pa ba tayong aasahang mga pangalan as seemingly ludicrous as parang mga pampano at enough material to start a buffet, no? Kumbaga, may
In
mga
addition to the fruit salad,
Yeah.
marami yan. In
Marami
addition to the senators and some congressmen attending the feast of fruit salad, marami pa. Except that I would have done it on additional direct, which was what I attempted to do. But I think the presiding officer said, we already have summaries, so we will rely on the summaries. And the ruling was, it is going to be the clerk of court that will examine na, that will compare na. But my point was not comparison. My point was identification.
yes.
Because iba yung to preempt the defense from saying, hindi nyo naman in-identify yung mga acknowledgement receipts na yan, in-identify nyo yung summary, tsaka yung tabulation. No? And that is why I was able to get, and happily I was able to get a ruling from the presiding officer, Chiz, that no. And counsel will stipulate that this includes identification and authentication. That was a very fine point that everybody missed. But that's what we wanted to do. Because yung mga ibang pangalan dyan, and we will show it, not to preempt the next witnesses, meron pa kami, as you will recall from the House Committee on Justice, yung Philippine Statistics Authority, yung listahan, marami pa dyan listahan na minor, may listahan pa dyan na not born, never existed, did not die, walang birth certificate, marriage, sa PSA. So we will try to do it. And that's why we wanted it identified for our witness from the Philippine Statistics Authority.
Doon sa house pa lang, di ba nagsabi na raw po sila na non-existent ang mga pangalan na ito?
Yes. Yes.
Alright.
So the subsequent witnesses will attempt to do that.
Pero ito pong sinabi po ni Presiding Officer Escudero na yung isang side raw, and we quote, crossing the line many times. Ito yung pagdidiscuss daw in the public ng merits of the case, violating rule number 18 of the rules of impeachment daw. Sino kaya itong side na binabanggit na malamang?
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
Siguro, who do you think he was referring to?
I have my own opinion, but let me say this. If you are to sanction or to remind the councils, both on both sides, let us not leave out the Vice President herself. because the most sub judice person there is the Vice President. When she says, for instance, at least kami, when we comment on the proceedings, and sometimes you cannot comment on proceedings, which is allowed, without touching on the merits of the case. No? Like for instance, what happened? We were asked, what happened during the hearing? Oh, we presented these documents, and then it slides into these documents strongly support the case. That's already talking about the merits. Sometimes when you're talking, kasi it's very hard to cut the thought, no? But the Vice President should be warned. She is the one that says this Senate is bending the rules. Ano yun? That's not only sub judice. That is a real attack on the institution. To me, that's even obstruction of justice. No? The Senate is bending the rules. And then she makes fun of bakit dalawa ang nakaupo dyan. Like it is a carnival of sorts na I don't know. And she has said so many other things, no? And that is why if there is such a directive on Monday, I think it should clearly also be a pointed reminder to the Vice President. Because first, she doesn't appear in court. Does it mean that because she's not in court, she is free to say whatever she wants to say? She's there in The Hague, or wherever she is now.
You practiced long enough, attorney, no? You've practiced law long enough to see the evolution of courtroom styles. Ito ba mga younger litigators today, are they more prone to confrontation? Or are we just seeing, siguro, courtroom behavior displayed differently because every exchange is clipped at maaring nagiging meme, replayed many times, etc.?
Baka yung generational gap na.
Yun,
seemingly.
Yung sinabi ni Chiz Escudero na generational divide, naintindihan mo ba yun?
Siyempre. Pero hindi naman ako nasaktan. Kasi totoo naman, may generational divide. Siguro I'm older than most of the senators, even senator judges.
But were you discussing something that would reference things of different chronologies?
I think the subliminal message there was, attorney, hinay-hinay ka lang. Wag mo naman masyadong dikdikin itong kalaban mo. I mean, I think that was the subliminal message of the generational divide. That's why when I hardly lose my cool. But if someone like that appears in front of me, that's why I tried to just take light of it and say, I'm gonna spank you, because that's what mothers do to kids, di ba? Hoy, tama ka na, ang ingay-ingay mo dyan. Pak! Di ba? And that was the context. I was not condescending. I didn't want to sound condescending or want to, that was the context of, I'm going to spank you. And because I may have hurt her feelings, I did say, and I meant it. I meant it when I said, I will behave. Of course, I had my fingers crossed. I never behave. I never behave. Everybody who knows me
Pero,
I never behave.
Were you able to speak with Attorney Ferrer?
No, I was looking for her after the hearing, but we were packing our things, and we had 15 boxes to take care of. By the time I went to their side, she had not been there anymore.
And no spanking happened? No spanking?
Idol daw kayo, attorney. Idol niya naman daw kayo. Bata pa lang daw siya, idol daw kayo.
Maraming salamat po.
Pero totoo ba na alam mo daw ang laman ng each and every one of the contents of those boxes?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Because we do have 4,492 documents. And we had classified them. We were prepared to show each and every document by exhibit number. Prepared to show.
Preparation.
Preparation is the key. So,
dapat malaman din ng mga batang abogado yan. All over.
Oh, yes. Yes. I have so many years of practice. I prepare. In fact, yung eye bags na yan, hindi matakpan ng ito, nung eye makeup natin dito, yung aking best friend dyan.
Ay, dadali na sa special effects yun, attorney. Okay, nung lumabas ba later in the day na parang mas matunog yung storya ng konfrontasyon ninyo ni Attorney Ferrer, over dun sa merito ng kaso, ano po naramdaman ninyo, attorney?
I think it is an indication that
We're
it is-
bored.
that no, it's an indication that the public, that you have an audience. Your audience is not only the Senate, but your audience is the public. And you cannot keep public attention for 4 hours straight. When I was raising kids, we were told, that's why wala ka pa noon, Sesame Street, mga ganyan.
Hindi na nila alam.
Hindi nyo na alam yan. Or there's a Filipino version.
Sesame, batibot. Ganun.
Batibot.
Sesame.
Yung mga batibot na yan. Ano. And I had always wondered why my kids would be glued. Because it was by segment. And I learned that the maximum attention span of human beings is 7 minutes.
Max.
7 minutes.
Because of TikTok, iigsi ba daw yun?
Iiksi pa.
Iiksi pa yun. And that was before social media.
Yeah.
That was just TV.
Television.
And that's why they would show Snuffleupagus. Then, favorite ko yun. At saka yung Oscar the Grouch was my favorite character. Oscar the
Ipapaliwanag ko
Grouch.
sa kanya mamaya kung sino
Hindi
yun.
mo alam yung mga Oscar the Grouch.
Ano yung
ah.
galing
But
sa
they would-
basura?
Yung galing sa but they would change segment by segment. And
Yes.
people are glued. Now with AI and social media, the attention span is probably a click. It's 1 minute, and they don't like it, they click. So that is what the impeachment court is facing. Even in our desire to present the evidence, at least me, I am conscious that I am speaking to
Yeah.
two kinds of audiences, and hence, I don't know if it's intentional, but my one-liners come out.
Yeah.
It's not really intentional. I guess it is just me entertaining myself,
And people are watching.
and there are some people watching.
And you are
Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw. Bunyog,